Why did you choose your topic?
Why did I choose this topic? Because God set me up. Following a lifetime of serving Christians, immigrants, refugees, the homeless, offenders and ex-offenders, and other persons who suffer under dehumanizing labels, I wrote a thriller that connected the readers with the humanity of homelessness. Then at an award ceremony for that book, God whispered to me, dehumanizing labels are what is causing the all-out war in American politics. I want you to address that before America becomes the Bosnia of the North American continent. Now, having served Bosnian refugees from the concentration camps, rape camps, and other terrors of that internal war, I knew what God meant. So after the usual, who me? I don't even like politics. I said, yes. I have learned to say yes when God calls me to the impossible. And it happens. Soon I realized that I needed to become an expert in strategic media. So cutting the story short, God opened the door to pursue a PhD in strategic media here at Liberty University. Then in my executive certificate courses, he helped me narrow the topic down to how political party structures dehumanize we the people, a critical piece of understanding that needs to be studied. I believe the results will lay the foundation for the political reformation that our country needs. Change, often negative, occurs by default. Growth and positive change are built on a foundation of studying the roots of the problem. With God's intervention, I believe that we can lay a foundation for removing dehumanization as an accepted tool in American politics.
Why do you believe your topic is important in communication today?
Marshall McLuhan, in Understanding the Media, the Extensions of Man, with its famous saying, the medium is the message. And again, in his Playboy interview that forced him to be more concise, talks about how organizations are a medium in their own right and communicate an effective message regardless of the other media of communication that they use. But McLuhan globalized this. He spread it further. As Andrew McLuhan writes in 2019 in Understanding the Medium, McLuhan globalized this message and the message making to the extended environment of the medium itself. Therefore, political communication cannot escape the message that political party structures communicate to we the people. And the greater environment, the political systems and government, affect the message that we the people attribute to the political parties. Presently, nearly all the political environment is communicating dehumanization to we the people. But this study extracts a narrow segment, the political party structures, which have the potential to shape how political operatives and see their message and even what we the people understand to be happening. This can begin to change our expectations of the political parties and the political systems, for we must break free out of our negative expectations and envision reformations that are needed to stabilize and mobilize our democracy. My belief is that in the hands of God, this small piece of research will open those possibilities.
Why did you choose the methodology that you chose?
For my topic, a study of current political party communication that dehumanizes people, a convergent mixed methodology has been chosen. The study of the structures of the political parties is limited in this study to the two dominant parties, the Democrats and Republicans. This requires a qualitative study to first identify the structures then to explore which structures produce outward-facing communications and which of those communications affect we the people. However, the study also requires that we look at how we the people experience political dehumanization, and this requires a quantitative study. These two studies must be completed independently. Both streams of the study start with literature reviews, one of the structures of political parties and the other of the elements which create dehumanization of people in general. In both streams, the results of the initial literature review require being narrowed, one to the political party structures that communicate outward-facing messages that may affect we the people, and the other to the elements of political communication that we the people experience as dehumanizing. By intermixing the two results, we identify how the political party structures communicate dehumanization to people. Now, the steps laid out here mirror the steps laid out by Creswell in 2018 in their figure that demonstrates the flow of convergent mixed method strategy. Thus, my choice of convergent mixed method methodology.
Why did you choose the theory or philosophy that you chose?
In this mixed method research, 3 communication theories and 1 philosophical worldview intersect to shape the strategies that will be used. As summarized by Creswell and then again by Littlejohn et al. In 2021, the transformative worldview speaks to current issues. It presumes asymmetric power relationships and assumes a socially constructed world, and thus a world capable of being deconstructed and changed. The transformative worldview links political and social action to the need for change. For these reasons, a transformative worldview defines my look at how political party structures dehumanize, or one could say disempower, we the people. Then additionally, the 3 theories provide further framework and the presumptions for this research. First, the communication of political parties is evaluated through the democratic need to engage in invitational rhetoric rather than verbal war or even hard sell persuasion. So first, this study looks at the communications and examines them through the lenses of invitational rhetoric theory. Then second, McLuhan's theory of how the medium is the message forms the assumption that the structures do communicate both through and apart from their formal messages. But the primary framework of this research is structuration theory, especially its description of the nexus between action of agency and the structures and how the two together co-create one another. So this study is about the intersection of communication between the agency of we the people and the structures of our political system. It examines overt, covert, and inadvertent messaging by the mediums involved and posits that understanding is the goal of productive politics. All of this with an eye to the improvement and growth of our democracy, our grand American experiment.
Having completed the course, will you continue with this topic through your dissertation, and why?
Yes, it is my plan to continue the study of how political parties dehumanize we the people. And for now, this narrow segment called How the Political Party Structures Dehumanize We the People. I believe it is a unique look at politics in America, and one that answers to things like the August 9th, 2022 Pew Research of US adults, which found that more than 57% of US adults hold unfavorable views of both major parties. This is the highest finding in more than 2 decades. An even higher percentage of adult Americans believes that our political system is broken and the 2 major political parties are to blame for the years of deterioration which we the people have observed. Still, if for no other reason than that only 2 in 10 Americans say they trust government to do what is right, either always or at least most of the time, any research that identifies the roots of the growth of dehumanization of we the people, the dehumanization that we the people experience, is critical to the growth and recovery of constitutional democracy in America. Ours is a democracy that rises not from a political class or a political elite, but from a sovereign citizenship. Whether the current parties reform or new parties and new systems arise, the issue of political dehumanization of the people must be critically studied and addressed. I believe this is a necessary foundation for addressing the current dehumanized divisions and the resulting dysfunctions in American politics, in American culture, and in American governance.